and forget that I didn't switch away. Botch already! Yay!
It's going to get so bad to the point Matthew's going to be just Jones and wrestling YouTube to try to find botches for too long. There you go, Ashley.
Probably. Anyway. The week after the year before?
Yeah, it feels like every day feels like another year has gone by.
No, I mean, like, it doesn't. It feels like we skipped WrestleMania 36. I know stuff happened because we did it last week, but it's like the road to 37 now starts.
Yeah, so
The
sorry I wasn't able to make the show last Sunday.
Yeah, we know you and your technical issues. And again, I had my technical issues when we had the blip in the middle. So there's 5 minutes of just lost time. Thanks, internet. Anyway, this is the weekly wrap up where
Yep.
we try and wrap up everything wrestling wise. A few other bits here and there, but mainly on the wrestling side. For in or around 2 hours. Because we have to pad. So I guess the best thing to do, because we couldn't really get your proper reactions last week,
God. Okay.
was night 2 of Mania.
Just go through it match by match. It's so much easier just to just prompt me for something and I'll answer.
Yeah, I'm just getting the I'm getting the list of the matches up because I can't remember. The kickoff show with Liv beating Natalia.
I've never liked Liv Morgan. It's going to take a long time to get me to like Liv Morgan. I think Natalia's wasted, and she has been for a long time. But there's really not much she can do right now. She's basically kind of a workhorse of the division. She doesn't have to be in the title picture. She's just there basically to show her expertise, and that's fine. Liv needed the victory, but the match made no sense. You guys were talking about that should have been Ruby Riot's spot, and I totally agree.
I'm guessing Ruby was not cleared to
Well,
compete.
apparently there's people that were not that were. I don't know if this is true or not. The whole thing about finding out that people did test positive,
We'll get to that.
but we'll get to that later.
So they opened up with Charlotte beating Ripley. I love the fact as well that the report came out saying Rhea's had to go back to Australia because her visa expired. And then literally the next day, she's there, like, filming her and her dog in Florida, like, I beg your pardon? Which, in
Um,
that case, it makes, to me, less sense why do it like that.
I get why you put the title on Charlotte. If you remember correctly, I did say that was going to happen.
Hmm.
I did definitely say that was going to happen because I figured it would. You obviously got to get Charlotte on NXT, but as so many people have said before us and will say after us, when it comes down to it, you don't really have to flip the title to keep Charlotte on NXT. So that's kind of a moot point basically now because Charlotte is the NXT Women's Champion, which is fine. It's okay, whatever. Um, there were still legs in Rhea's title reign, I think. But as was mentioned on NXT this past week, which of course I have not watched because I've still not watched WWE past WrestleMania. But when it comes down to it, there is an understanding that Charlotte has a lot more fresh matches in NXT than she does on the main roster. So I'm okay with this. I have a feeling that this is going to be something that's going to build, and this, even though we're going ahead of ourselves, the match coming up against Io Shirai, I think is going to be phenomenal and may get me to not break my. I'm not going to watch NXT or watch WWE product, but I do want to try to seek out that match whenever it happens. Unlike the garbage they brought up to SmackDown, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Um, so I will state right now, it was a solid match. It felt like an actual battle between the two. It was a good back and forth, but right finish. But it feels like it's the wrong timing, honestly.
My main issue is if they're saying no, Charlotte hasn't got anybody to face. What
Right.
about okay, that's spoilers for later, but Bianca and Shayna? You could get a good series of matches with them.
Well, Shayna, I'm okay with because I'm fine with that being. Again, I told you before, Bianca was not one of my favorites. I've never been a fan of hers. Again, I've been out of it for a while, so I can't really say anything about the character now. But I mean, I was not a fan going in, so that's one of those things I don't really have anything in. I don't have any stake in overall. But I will state that the fresher matchups are in NXT because the NXT women's division is a lot stronger overall. And I think there's a lot more you can do with Charlotte in NXT now than what you can do with her in the main roster because everything is add, rinse, repeat. Been there, done that.
Aleister Black and Lashley.
Shouldn't have happened. No point to the match at all.
Well, no,
I don't care about.
I think the purpose was we're already teasing the divorce of Bobby and Lana.
I don't care about this garbage. Rusev, all is forgiven. Go to AEW. The thing is,
I honestly think Rusev staying firm and getting pulled off television because he won't renegotiate is the blessing for this storyline. Because it's having
maybe,
to cut the head off while the foot's biting.
which is good because the storyline should not have happened in the first place. It's stupid. It's pointless. Doesn't need to be a thing. And I like Aleister Black, but I don't think WWE knows how to do anything with him. They don't know what they have with him. He's a diamond in the rough, just like what they did with Apollo Crews. He got brought up to the main roster way too quick, and they had that very competitive match this past week, which I heard nothing but rave reviews about, given the fact that it was so long. But you got to do something to build that back up. And Aleister Black needed a match to build him back up. And Bobby Lashley is just going nowhere fast. So it's just kind of like you can start building him up if you really want to. But I think the time has passed for that.
Brief little promo for Money in the Bank on May the 10th. Not from the Performance Center. Oh, wait, it is from the Performance Center.
Yeah, it is.
At least probably.
Unless the wonderful people that are in charge of my state put the kibosh on that. Fingers crossed for that.
Why didn't they put the kibosh on the Performance Center stuff then?
There's still time. There's still a day. Someone needs to feel the pain. I don't mean the roster. They've already felt it.
Otis and Ziggler.
I don't care for the storyline because I don't know anything about it. It reminds me a bit of the storyline that they did in Impact with Grado and Laurel Van Ness.
Yeah, to some extent.
Storyline that I had let's just say a lot of stake in because it felt very familiar, if you will, and it went the opposite way that this storyline went. Dolph's a bump machine. He's great at that. I love the fact that Otis and Tucker this past week on SmackDown were wearing the Midnight Express style tights. I like that.
My only issue is I still think it's trying to make out like Sonya has a thing for Dolph.
They can.
I'm not clarified whether she's bi or just lesbian.
She can be in the storyline.
True. Unless
but
it
I
becomes
mean,
a thing.
honestly, Ziggler bumped his butt off like he always does. Otis was impressive. Like I said, I don't really care much for Heavy Machinery as a tag team. I don't like them at all. I didn't like them in NXT. But I understand why they are what they are, and I think they're probably going to be your next tag champions, and that's probably the direction they should go. But yeah, I think this is something that doesn't necessarily have to continue. I think you move Dolph on to something else sooner rather than later, and move Heavy Machinery towards the tag belts. And to do the Randy and Liz moment with two people I don't like, because everyone knows my hatred for Mandy Rose, I get it. If you are invested in the storyline, then it makes sense to do it, but I'm not. So seeing it as somebody just going in completely blind, just having just like a basic understanding of what's going on, it was fine. It was fine for what it was. Caterpillar, the Abdul the Butcher Sudanese elbow. Okay, sure.
Wrestling needs
It's
more
good
Chase
regardless.
Walkers. That's all I'm saying. Edge and Orton.
I'm not going to get that time of my life back. Um,
It
if it
was
had
it was good, but it just, the storyline of what it told was excellent. It just
yes,
petered out to be a bit too long in the tooth for certain bits.
I felt like I was playing WCW Backstage Assault. It reminded me of the WrestleMania 10 match between Macho Man Randy Savage and Crush, where they fought in the back pretty much the whole time.
Oh, and the I'm gonna tie you up and fail to do so, and you fall on the floor.
Exactly. It
Sell
was
it, brother.
hilarious.
Ooh yeah.
Um, I will say, I don't know what you guys were saying on your live stream when we were doing the podcast, but I do say that I cringed a bit when they went to the gym equipment and started doing the choke. That was wrong in every way possible. That should never have happened.
as, as soon as I realized that that was the position in which Christopher was found, um, 13, well, nearly 13 years ago, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oof. When I heard that people weren't happy with it, certain people in WWE, I was like, yep,
I
that's
wouldn't have gone there.
understandable. And then when Matthew put it in Botchamania with Chris's music over the top of it, I was like, it's the pièce de resistance.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. We have a new Botchamania? I haven't seen it yet. I need to check that out.
Because there weren't that many botches from um, 36, instead he
Mm.
showed the SNL clip from WrestleMania 1 hype when Hogan and Mr. T got corpsing at I can't remember the character's name.
I've never seen this.
It's on the Botchamania.
I'm watching it. Don't worry. After the show's over, I'll go straight to Matthew. It told a great story, and from what is coming out about it, it sounds like that it was a match that was done pretty much as an improv because they weren't ready for the concept that they were
I
wanting to
swear
go
there's
for.
one bit where you can see backstage Heyman in the
He was there.
corridor.
He totally was. I could definitely see him for a split second. Um, it was fine. It was like, but it was way too long. It dragged a lot in places. I feel that the empty arena, let's fight all around the building shtick is dead and never needs to happen again. I don't care about like time pass. No, it doesn't ever need to happen again. It's dead. It's done. Empty arena wrestling is fine, but I don't want to see empty arena fights anymore.
I guess yeah. I was gonna say we had somewhat of a similar issue when we had Roman and Braun, although obviously that was in a stadium full of people,
Yeah.
so it was
I
sort of
mean,
different.
but of course, because it's me we're talking about here, to say that I'm not excited about Moxley and Hager on Wednesday is an understatement because I am. But that's a completely
If we're
different
going
story.
by what Jim Ross said on Dave and Jim Valley's interview with him to plug his book that's out, apparently it's pretty good.
Well, yeah, of course it is. I have complete faith it's going to be. NXT's throwing up nothing, and you have AEW
Oh,
throwing up a solid show.
NXT had some interesting stuff this week. We'll get to that.
Oh, but yeah, it's like it was fine. And the finish, I don't know why it was on top of the tractor trailer. That doesn't make any sense. I was expecting a huge bump, but they didn't go for it. I was expecting a punt kick, which they went for. I was expecting the concerto to be the finish, and it was. But I honestly thought since they utilized her in the past that Beth Phoenix would be a part of the match in some way, one shape or form.
I'm guessing the full-on quarantine stopped that.
That makes sense.
Somebody's got to look after the kids, and if it's Canada, Yeah, we
That's
already
true.
know that Edge drove, what was it, 18 hours straight?
Yeah, something like that.
Because obviously there's no flights and everything.
No, it's for the last thing I'm going to say about Orton and Edge. It was way too long. It told a decent story. I like the story behind it, but it did not deliver at all when it comes to the build up that it had in my head.
If you want an Edge story that does deliver, the hour and a quarter documentary on the network.
I got to find a way to watch it.
That is very good. Um, Gronk jumped off the platform. That's the third straight week that somebody's tried to either kill themselves or kill somebody else off that platform. Or it seems like.
So we know Viking Hall had a crow's nest when it was the ECW arena. And Raven and Tommy Dreamer did stuff from there. And of course, we had Dreamer chokeslam Brian Lee through all the stack tables from the top of the crow's nest and everything.
Should we just call
The
it the
night
performance perch or something?
I'm good with that. The night that Kimona stripped for the live crowd that
Yeah.
was not filmed but was filmed. Anyway, when it comes down to it, I don't care. I hate the 24/7 championship. I think it's stupid. I think it's pointless. I think Ron Killings deserves better. I think no, this is just let's get everybody a paycheck. Basically, it was the Battle Royal this year, for all intents and purposes. Let's
Mm-hmm.
get who we can involved so they can have a segment on Performance Center Mania. Because that wasn't WrestleMania. Not even close.
Street Profits beating Fury and Gaza. Not that much of a surprise.
Serviceable house show match. That's about it. Don't know
And
why Austin Theory is involved in this at all. Makes no sense. And why he got heat at the very end of the match. Had to get heat back on the Street Profits. Only to set up the run in at the end.
yeah, the Belair appearance and immediately I said, "Is that mean we're seeing her tomorrow?" Lo and behold, I may have been right.
I wouldn't know. I didn't watch.
Then the best bit, Gronk has disappeared, so Titus O'Neil is taking over hosting duties. Yes.
I'm glad Titus was there. He deserves everything after all he's been through. And the stuff with Vince and the stuff with all of his pushes and everything just falling apart. The primetime players, Titus Worldwide, everything. It's just like Titus is a great guy, and I think he deserves to have great things happen for him. And I'm glad to see him at least get a little screen time. Speaking of that,
So then the five-way elimination for the SmackDown Women's title.
uh, excruciating.
Tamina eliminated by everybody, because lol.
She
Then,
shouldn't have been there in the first place.
then
Stop trying to
Naomi,
make Tamina a thing. Seriously, she's not Nia Jax, no matter how much you dress her like her.
then Naomi got eliminated from, I think it was a submission from Sasha.
Yeah, I think she tapped the bank statement, I'm pretty sure.
Then, as much as I thought it was going to be between them two, Lacey hit Sasha with a woman's right, and Bailey does nothing to sort of help her friend, and it's like,
You gotta build it. You gotta build it.
yeah, but at the same time, at this rate, we're building to an empty arena match between Bailey and Sasha at SummerSlam.
I don't think there's gonna be an empty arena at SummerSlam.
I don't know
I
how
have to
long
look
this is going to go on for.
I have to look on the bright side, and at this point, I don't want to talk about any of that crap right now. So I just want to talk about wrestling. I understand that it's
I
it's a
mean,
thing, but
if it does go to an arena, I honestly sense there is no title change because that might be where Ronda shows up. Despite the history of Raw, I think Fox would prefer to have Ronda on their brand.
I think Ronda's winning the Royal Rumble, and then she gets to challenge whomever at in Los Angeles. That's what I'm thinking.
And then Sasha, admittedly, interfering
I
afterwards,
don't
um, giving Bailey the win and retaining the title. continuing her record-breaking reign, except it's a record-breaking combined reign.
Bailey and Sasha is obviously the storyline here. Basically, I again, I still don't like Lacey Evans. I'm not going to like Lacey Evans no matter what you try to get me to like. Um, Storyline is Bailey and Sasha. It makes sense for it to be at SummerSlam because that's where basically this kind of stuff started. So it makes sense that it would be. And a lot of people are saying if it happens, it needs to be a main event. No, the time has passed. Seriously, but it depends on what's built up by that time because we don't know what these forced live shows that Vince is going to put on for the next several weeks are going to build us to.
Then, Firefly Funhouse time.
Now, you know that I'm all about my nostalgia.
Part of this
The
wasn't
build,
nostalgia. Part of this was like, I can understand why Bray Wyatt was on creative for this, and John Cena possibly putting the kibosh on certain ideas.
it was
That,
John's. This is your life, John Cena, is what it was.
to some extent, yeah.
I mean, I love the fact that they paid the money for the Saturday Night's main event theme. That was great. I love the
Oh,
fact that
what Obsession?
yes, that was amazing. Um,
I
I
haven't
love the
checked to see whether it survived the network call.
I don't want to ever watch the network one if that's the case. It's just like trying to watch a New
Well,
Jack match on the
well,
network. It
no,
doesn't work.
it's because the ACD, no, not the ACDC, the Metallica, which plagued Night One's monetization. Thanks, you
Mm-hmm.
bastards. That is now removed off the version that's now archived on the network.
Even though Metallica gave their permission on Twitter.
They ain't taking their chances.
Lame. Thanks, Lars.
So yeah, Cena making his entrance, welcome to Wrestle, and then it just warps into various Vince introductions and Jim Ross and Monsoon and all the various WrestleMania entrances, and then Bray's at the Funfly Fun House, and Rambling Rabbit says, "Go through the door," and then the Vince McMahon puppet's there, saying, "You gotta show me ruthless aggression." And then they had Kurt Angle and Bray Wyatt at the same time calling out John Cena.
And all Cena could say was ruthless aggression because that's all he said in reality.
And kept doing punches, which Bray kept missing.
I like that you can look but you can't touch. That was thrown out there at one point.
Yeah, Cena's greatest failure. Which I'm trying to work out why it was his greatest failure. Kurt was supposed to win. That's how wrestling is booked. If
Indeed.
longer. And then, I'm guessing the Saturday night's main event bit was supposed to be like the equivalent of No Holds Barred.
He was supposed to be the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, but to me it seemed a little bit more Macho and Zeus.
It was supposed to be Hogan and Macho.
To
But that
me,
doesn't
to
make
me, it
sense
was
for the
more
story that
Macho
you
and
were trying
Zeus
to do.
because of all the weird stuff with the weights. It just felt like that's what Zeus would do if he was on acid.
It wasn't no. It was the concept from Saturday Night's main event. It wasn't something that was specific. I just think it was what a traditional babyface promo would be leading to a main event.
Well, it was to me, it was the cage bars that reminded me of No Holds Barred.
Yeah, but I mean that they never had a match on Saturday Night's main event. Hogan faced the Boss Man in the cage, and Zeus came down at the end.
Right.
Sad I can remember that. But yeah, I mean, it was cool, and he kept doing his dumbbell curls, and all of a sudden he had no arms left to do anything. And the next thing you know, he's the doctor of thugonomics again. Like how Bray
I
called
found
him
it
a bully.
interesting that Cena was allowed to be dug on by, you know, that you look but you can't touch. They couldn't make any jokes about Joe. They couldn't make any jokes about JoJo being, you know, the bike around the locker room.
That's a little too inside, though. That's way too
Yeah,
inside for this. Even this.
I don't know, but then the work compound came in.
That was cool.
Nice little bit. You know, it was weird to see Brody Lee on the wrong show. What are you doing here? You're on AEW. Get back. And
He's
then
now the
Nitro.
second person.
Then Nitro.
Signification of a John Cena heel turn.
Yeah, but at the same time, was it supposed to be like Dallas Page?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't supposed to be anyone specifically. This was Hogan and Bischoff, is basically what it was. But the thing about it is, when it comes down to it, it was supposed to signify what everybody wanted if John Cena would have turned heel. And if he would have been heel, he would have been in the NWO.
And then, of course, the Vince puppet. This is such good shit.
Yeah. T-shirt available now, of course. And the uncensored one is available as well, but that's not on WWE Shop.
And then the Cena sucks chants, and Wyatt was murdering the pig.
I think a roundabout way about that was the fact that Cena was hitting the punches on Bray, and you noticed the person that he ended up punching was Huskus the pig, which would be the Husky Harris mention that he made previously. That got deleted because they didn't want to reveal their cards yet.
Yeah, but we knew that. Well, Abigail was obviously the Sister Abigail stuff. Huskus was obviously
Husky Harris.
Vince was just obviously everything.
Yeah.
Rambling Rabbit was, I guess, the fans.
Perhaps.
Well, considering how they had, you know, fan opinion as part of when the rabbit got put in the blender. And then, of course, Fiend shows up.
That was cool.
Putting him in the claw and saying, you know, I'm going to take out this overhyped wannabe, and playing the audio. You know, this overhyped wannabe from 6 years ago. Which is very good callback.
Yeah, definitely.
And then Cena's body disappeared.
Yep, because he was all gone then.
Only to show up on the back of a fucking cow. Again. And a Takis commercial.
Random. I liked it for what it was. It was out there, but I like out there sometimes. I love the Boneyard match, don't get me wrong. Probably, without a doubt, easily the best thing on WrestleMania weekend, without a question. But I liked Firefly Funhouse because it was just bizarre. And I like callbacks that are kind of like wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You know, get this? I like stuff like that. I like inside references that are not so inside. It was fine.
And then Drew beating Lesnar to become the first British/Scottish champion.
Well, first off, I'll say this again. I think I've been saying this since day one, and you know exactly where I'm going with this before I even say it. If you want to talk about the first British heavyweight champion, it should have been Wade Barrett.
I mentioned that last week.
And even further than that, it should have been Davey Boy Smith.
Yeah, Bulldog.
but it should have been Barrett. And I think the significance of Cena and the Nexus and during the Firefly Funhouse, which really wasn't talked about at all, with Cena and the Nexus, which I think that might have gotten the kibosh put on it if I had to guess. The fact that Cena did not have he had the opportunity to put Barrett over and he didn't. And that was another thing, like the whole significance of the throw out the Raven crucifix and like hit me with the chair and change history.
We can't acknowledge. We can't acknowledge anything to do with NWA Power.
No, apparently we can't.
The biggest weird thing was Mike Rome introducing Lesnar.
It's my boy. Here's the thing. Should they have waited for this match to take place in front of a crowd? Yeah, for sure. But if you have to do it now, I understand why it was done. But where do we go? Seriously. Who has been built up enough at this?
Oh, we'll get to that.
There's no real.
We'll get to that.
No real challengers. First, not see if I had to mix the two, I would have, and just cut other things that didn't need to be there. Actually,
then I guess we now have to start talking about being the elite properly, because
yes, we do.
The West Coast people are having to do matches as part of being the elite.
Yeah, BTE is now a thing officially. It's now canon for AEW, and I'm completely fine with that.
Daniels and Kazarian beating Cutler and Avalon in a
solid tag match.
Excalibur on commentary and Nick Jackson as camera operator.
Double
great. Duties.
Of course.
Then, interestingly, Luchasaurus looking for his tail, going to Taya Valkyrie's house.
That was funny.
Is that a thing?
And that's a thing.
No, but does that mean is she bound?
I hope so. That'd be great. They could really use her in the division. Oh my god.
Then again, the important stuff happened because she said, "Go see Super Panda." Yes. Giant Panda is coming. I know we can't do it in Vegas, but if Double or Nothing is still happening as a big behind closed doors show, we need Super Panda.
I'll tell you another thing I need. I need this continuing feud between Kenny Omega and Colt Cabana, something fierce. I love this. I love this little feud they're doing on BTE. My favorite one actually was the other day when they were still in Jacksonville, when Cabana was in the background behind the container of water, and every time they took one off, he ducked down. And Kenny caught him and chased him out of the room. It was great.
Remember, Colt said he's going to be in every episode, whether he has to.
He is. I don't deny that.
Hence, Kenny said, Colt's not allowed in the building, and then he's there. And then somehow they swap clothes.
So yeah, BTE is gonna have canon for AEW now, and that's fine. And honestly,
Bucks versus Daniels and Kaz, I think, is coming up this week, or has that already happened?
That is going to be this week.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it's Daniels and Kaz against what are they? High Risk.
Oh yeah.
Because it's going to be a squash match. Yeah, they had a solid match against the Bucks. They really did.
Yeah.
I honestly think they may get a deal out of it.
Lotto and Andrews are impressing enough that they might get some sort of, even if it's just an isolation deal for a few months, it'll be something.
And I like it because...
Go ahead.
I like it, Ashley, because not only are they making BTE canon, they're also making BTE kind of like an AEW Dark Light.
Yeah, it's an easy way in.
Yeah, I like it.
Except it's going to get complicated this week because it's in 3 parts.
Yes, that's what I was getting ready to say. Starting tomorrow, we have our first part and the second part on Tuesday, and then the third part on Wednesday, and of course AEW on Wednesday and AEW on Tuesday. Sugar Dungerton is now has a job. We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, trying to think, because it's episode 199.
Mm-hmm.
So the big
Three-part
build is
episode for 199.
the big build is to 200, which by the looks of it is going to be on 420. Da-da-da. Make it happen, boys. Um,
F T what?
I'm trying to. I'm trying to work out whether they'd be available. Then again, would you want them to debut on Being the Elite, or would you want to debut them on Dynamite? That's the issue, because
You
I
tease
don't
it.
know.
You tease it. You tease it
Yeah,
on BT.
all we need, all the Holy Trinity needs to happen, and I don't mean the American Badass, the Phenom, and Mark Calloway.
Oh
I
man.
mean
Good luck on that one.
Cash Wheeler,
Dax Hardwood
Dax Hardwood,
and
managed by Anderson.
wouldn't surprise me.
Have them actually as faces for a change. Considering how we've got Death Triangle and the Dark Order and Inner Circle, there's enough heels. There needs
If
to
this
be
was
some.
if Dynamite was taking place this one live,
Hmm.
I would have the Bucks getting just destroyed, like getting completely like annihilated by the Inner Circle. And all of a sudden, top guys hit the ring from the crowd. Everybody's going to think that they're going to just add to it and start beating up the Bucks, but they save the Bucks instead. And we get top guys versus young Bucks respect match, face versus face in AEW.
Hmm.
But I also could see, again, too many heels still being come from the crowd and jump the Bucks when they're getting a one up on another team. Either way, they're going to be a tremendous addition for the AEW tag team division.
If they go there, of course.
I don't see any way they won't at this point.
I mean, I'd be tempted for them to, before they go to AEW, maybe if it became available when they can, do a tour of Japan.
I do a contract where they wouldn't be exclusive. I do a contract where they could be a part of New Japan if they need to.
Then again, of course, the issue is the World Tag League is not till the end of the year, so they'd be unavailable for a while.
Yep.
Um,
That's when you have the Death Triangle take them out, and then they're out of action
yeah,
for the
possibly.
tag league. If you want to go that route, at least we'll get to that in a bit.
So then chronologically we go next to Raw. Asuka beating Liv Morgan, pretty good match. In all honesty, at first I feared that Liv was going over because this is going to be part of the push for her, but no, Asuka won because she's Asuka, and that's good.
You have to build her up because honestly, she does not need to be part of a tag division. She needs to be one of your main baby faces going after the championship.
Or a heel going after the championship. Just
I'm okay
solo.
with either one at this point.
Solo.
She needs to be. They just need to get rid of the women's tag division. They don't have any They don't have any real anything for it.
If anything, you know where the tag division needs to be? NXT.
I can see that. That's fair.
NXT has the wider roster of women.
I totally agree.
Be it developmental for squash matches or ones that they don't want to put into the main event picture yet.
I
I
agree
mean,
with
we had a
that.
6-woman ladder match. 5 of them didn't win. Do something. Then they had some stuff with Becky, saying that she's happy with the, gives Shayna the props, but she came out on top. And then Baszler going, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. You may have the thrill of victory, but you will suffer the agony of my defeat. It's like, that's pretty good, in all honesty. I still don't know why they did it. So then, this, what felt like it, I think it went on for probably about a half an hour to 40 minutes.
The Aleister
Street
Black Apollo
Profits,
Crews match.
no, Street
Oh, that
Profits
one.
versus Theory and Garza in a rematch because they won clean. Why are they having a rematch? And I was immediately like, shenanigans are going to happen here, aren't they? Lo and
Stupid.
behold, Zelina gets involved. Then Bianca Belair showed up. They had a match, which nothing happened because, I think it was Montez tackling Theory inside the ring, so the referee said, that's a DQ. It's just like, okay. They weren't actually involved, the other two women, but okay. Any excuse for a sixth person, I guess.
Again, I don't care.
And then Black and Cruz. I don't care that this went 28 minutes. These guys actually had a damn good... And it's... Apollo Crews has officially changed brands. He's not part of the Sheamus burial. He's
That's
now going to
good.
be his own thing.
Nice.
Black put him over and Cruz put Black over.
Oh yeah, it's Uhaa Nation versus Tommy End. Of course, it's gonna be
Yes.
good.
Yeah, but I think if it wasn't for the situation, it would not have been given 27 minutes.
They would have given it 5 minutes, possibly, and that would have been about it.
Yeah, because they
Maybe
let it
seven.
because they
Maybe
let it
seven.
because they let it run. That's how you build them.
That's the thing, though. You have to do that. You have to have these longer matches to try to get some more eyes on your talent that actually can go the long time. You don't want to let people go a long time that don't know what they're doing. You want to keep them in short matches, and you want to take the talent that can actually go and just let them go. Not like there's a crowd to really dictate anything, so you might as well.
And Richard O'Shea and Cedric Alexander beat Birch and Lorcan. Read between the lines.
I just hope that they're finally pushing Birch and Lorcan. If they're gonna bring the idiots up from SmackDown that are useless, at least use a good tag team like Birch and Lorcan to actually put them on Raw and let them actually do something.
Yeah.
Again, that should have been given more time. But it's proof positive. They don't know what they're doing with Cedric and Ricochet because they're just putting them in the tag division, which they clearly don't care about.
It's also weird to see Richard O'Shea back in his normal ring attire, not in trunks. I can't remember whether that won the poll that he did on his Twitter.
Nice.
Then Rollins beat Denzel DeJournette
One of the NXT guys, right? Of
with a squash.
course he did.
Then Nia Jax squashes Deonna Purrazzo because, of course, she's heel.
Is she using the Rampage, or did I read that correctly?
Yeah, the Cradle DDT.
Yeah. Oh my
Mainly
god.
because the Samoan drop she did looked as bad as Tamina's.
Like I said, no matter how much you try to dress them alike, Tamina and Nia Jax are not the same person, and they don't work the same. Nia Jax as a person went up in my book, but Nia Jax as a wrestler, no.
My issue is with the storyline that they're doing and the real life situations. I still don't get why she has to be heel.
Doesn't make any sense at this point.
Especially considering, spoilers for later, Tamina seems to be the face in SmackDown.
You get my eyes on that one. That's all you're going to get for that because I have no response.
Humberto beating Brendan Vink. What is it with this guy and getting on every bloody week? Has he got compromising pictures of Vince or something?
I think he's like the WWF Superstars Jobber of the Week that comes in
He
and
is
does like the
Moondog
random
Spa.
tag matches. What'd you say?
He's Moondog Spa.
Yeah. He's like Barry Horowitz at this point.
Yeah. And then they openly admitted they filmed the McIntyre celebration 20 minutes after recording WrestleMania. And he
Then
was
something
hyped.
happened.
And then Big Show's music hit, and it's like, okay, is this plugging the Big Show?
Which is good, by the way.
And then, but Big Show wasn't going to challenge him for the belt right now or at Money in the Bank. But they're both in their gear and both have a referee.
He used reverse psychology.
Yeah. Big Show says that he's afraid of him, and Drew says he's not, and Big Show slapped him, and then the referee called for the bell, and then this is a WWE title match, and I'm like, no, it isn't. You've already specified that this is not a WWE title match. Yet then you have the graphics to say it is. Even though in all the promo they did, it wasn't.
They literally did a house show, not a house show in this case, a after Raw, after SmackDown, dark match main event, and put it on television. Why?
Hold that segue. Hold that segue. Why? Because then dark happened. Yes.
Yeah, dark is getting to be shorter because it was less than. It was super short. There was only 3 matches on there.
Yeah, it was only about 15-20 minutes. QT Marshall
18, I think, actually.
QT Marshall, well, somewhere between the two of them, QT Marshall beating Lee Johnson, Wardlow beating...
He trained him, so it makes sense.
Wardlow beating Ryan Piles.
Yep. Nice to see MJF here.
And then, in respect to Tony Schiavone and Jimmy Havoc on commentary, Kip Sabian beating Tony Donati.
So I could tell Tony did not know what to do with Jimmy Havoc half the time because Jimmy Havoc was just throwing some really random and weird things out there on commentary. It reminded me of GCW commentary for a second there. And for me, that's a good thing. I like the way this was done because actually it was 3 different broadcast teams for 3 different matches.
Yeah, because it was Taz and Excalibur for the next one.
Yep.
And
for the Wardlow match.
It was Schiavone and Cody, I think, for the first one?
Yep. I'll say it. I said it last week, and I'll say it again. I understand that Kip Sabian, by and large, at the beginning, was just because they couldn't get Will Ospreay. I get that. But he's growing on me. He's a really good heel. I think they're going to do a lot with him. And they should. Because he's very talented. And I really like his finish, too. The Russian leg sweep into the grounded octopus.
Mm-hmm.
Looks really good, too. And I like Penelope Ford. And congratulations to both of them, actually, in real life, for getting engaged.
No fucking way did I see that coming.
No. Jericho and Tony will be doing commentary moving forward for Dynamite, except for the aforementioned No Holds Barred match between Moxley and Hager, because that's going to be Jim Ross doing commentary from his home.
Oh,
the VO
wow.
will be done that way.
Oh, yeah. So because he blurted out, it's a good match. They're like, okay, you do commentary for it.
I just got to say right now, I love Dark. I do. I think it's a fun show. It's a great way to introduce new talent or get talent on people's radars.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the people that we're going to be not really talking about, but people that were seen on Dynamite tomorrow, in this case, since we're going into tomorrow's day now, basically will be a part of these tapings that have already been done, and they're going to be this week's Dark and this week's Dynamite, including somebody that out of nowhere just apparently has now got a job because Jericho called him Pineapple Pete. I don't think they were counting on Sugar Dunkerton being that big of a deal when he first came in, but now I think that they are.
Considering Sugar Dunkerton's career, I'm just pleased it's happened.
Oh, same here. Absolutely.
Everything
It's about
he's been
time.
for all the promotions. Brief stuff with Impact Wrestling, because they're actually they're still on tapings that they did.
Right.
Willie Mack beating Reno Scott in a handicap match, with Ace Austin coming out to sort of beat down on him with Reno Scum helping him, sort of thing. Then
They're
Kylie Ray, Gail Kim and Susie and had their stuff. And apparently Kylie Ray's fighting Kiera Hogan at Rebellion.
Oh, okay.
Because reasons.
It's already been taped.
Chris Bay beat Darga, which I've heard some pretty good things about anyway. Then Tyre's preparing for Full Metal Mayhem with Jordan Grace, which is good.
Should be fun.
Havoc beat Madison Rayne. We then had some stuff also with Jimmy Jacobs and Kem Shamrock, because Shamrock and Callahan needs to be a thing.
It will be.
For some reason. Then Rhino and Dreamer beat OVE, because ECW versus CZW. I guess.
Gotta be fair, that's not something they've done before. CZW versus ECW.
Then we've got some weird thing with Johnny Swinger and Rosemary. Rosemary wants some D and Swinger wants some P. The best bit is like, oh, you need a mature guy, not some young sorts of bucks. Next week I'm gonna be bringing M. Jackson, and I'm gonna show you what I've got against him. So I'm wondering whether this is gonna be Michael Jackson, the guy that CM Punk lost to.
Oh God.
Or beat, I can't remember. No, he beat Michael Jackson, but not very impressively, and then lost to Mickey Gorm. Then Kiera Hogan beat Susie, because we're still doing the whole Susie and Su Yung are two separate people. And I'm like, okay, this is getting a bit too like you're trying to do the Fiend now. Once you have the device, you become somebody else. And then North beat Blanchard and Edwards to retain the tag titles, which was like, well, obvious.
Can I segue that? Is that the end of the show?
Pretty much. Michael Elgin beat the shit out of Tessa Blanchard. Make your own jokes about domestic violence there. or the allegations against him, which I don't know whether are true or not. They are allegations. No evidence. Innocent till proven guilty, I don't know. I might as well briefly bring up NXT UK, because it's literally just old matches, because they haven't got anything left.
But they have matches with crowds.
True, but it's stuff that people have already seen. Apparently. So yeah, Dynamite started with Lance Archer murdering Alan Angels.
Yeah, that was no Dynamite started with Jake Roberts.
Well, yeah, the promo.
Such a good promo. Which, getting around to that, Jake has been readmitted to house at this point, so Jake is now under DP's care again.
So I'm just looking at the notes, and it said Jericho puts over Baker's ring gear and says that he loves sparkly outfits. No, that was Hikaru Shida's entrance video, where it's just her in like glitter ball suit.
Yep.
That's who he was over on. But Shida and Britt Baker had
Dear God,
probably the best women's match that AEW's had.
I would say it's probably better than most women's matches I've seen. Period.
Yeah,
Definitely on U.S. soil, it's one of the best women's matches I've seen. Period. I'm still trying to figure out where the septum was deviated because I would try to rewatch the match to see if I could figure it out, and I still couldn't get it.
all I know is
I
it's a
think it
pretty
was
good
just an
T-shirt.
errant kick to the face.
All I know is it's a pretty good T-shirt.
God, the Kiss shirt, making the Ace Frehley references instead and went from Ace Frehley to Gene Simmons in one match.
It's the shirt that WWE should have done with Becky, and
Yeah, totally.
they never really did.
Yeah, because Jericho has enough clout to go to Kiss and say, "Hey, we want to try to take a shirt and make it look like your image." Oh, that's fine. WWE couldn't do that. They don't have any clout with Gene Simmons.
Then of course Nakazawa.
A BTE segment on Dynamite.
Nakazawa saying we are best friends, and then the best friends is like, okay, winner gets the name. Okay. Then we
You're
have a
EVP. You can make this happen.
big long Hager and Moxley 5 to 10 minute promo.
So good.
Um, best friends beat Kenny and Nakazawa.
It was really good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the DDT style
It was
matchup.
good, but the issue here was like, who were they supposed to get behind, and who were they supposed to go boo?
It was fun. It was just a fun match. It's like Brian and Vinny talk about this all the time. When it comes down to it, it's not about necessarily having the greatest match on the face of planet Earth. It's about just having fun sometimes. And DDT matches are fun, and Kenny Omega is fun sometimes. And I like this. I don't have a problem with it, especially since you can't do anything with him and Adam Page right now.
Mm-hmm. Then the Brody Lee stuff.
I like it. I don't care. It shows that he has character. He's well
Stealing a
spoken.
man's character, you mean?
Not necessarily. Not as much as people think.
Also, why is he talking about walking through an airport? He shouldn't be flying. Social distancing. You
Stop
bastard.
it. No more.
Then Britt Baker was just like, the best bit was, thank God she didn't touch my teeth. Actually, on second thoughts, it wouldn't have mattered because I could fix them myself because I'm a dentist.
I like this a lot.
We need the
I
bloody
think Britt
t-shirt.
Baker as a heel was the.
We need the bloody t-shirt, but it just says I'm a dentist.
It'd be the most ironic thing in the world for me to wear it. Anyway. Honestly, though, I think turning Britt Baker heel was one of the best decisions AEW ever made.
Then Matt Hardy did his promo.
So good.
Saying, he won't allow the circle that's internal to take over. Sammy is a false god and a false Latino. He can't wait to eat Proud and Powerful because he loves Puerto Rican food. And Hager needs to complete his transformation to Jakenstein. His 2 bolts in the side of his head. And then Vanguard 1 came down with the t-shirt that he stole off Jericho. And the shirt was a dumpster fire, which mainly was
Literally.
because it was literally on fire. And then Hardy challenged Chris to the Elite Deletion because my issue is, do we need that? We've had enough of that.
I want to see it because I think it's something they could easily do that wouldn't really step on many toes. I think it's something you don't do now. I think it's something you do later. You can't do blood and guts right now, so you might as well do something big. And that's be a pretty big deal. You can book an entire Dynamite, you can do an entire AEW taping at the Hardy compound. Give the fans what they want, because that's what I immediately saw on Twitter when they talked about Matt Hardy joining AEW.
Brody Lee murders Lee Johnson.
Yeah.
A squeeze.
No more setup for the Sister Abigail. He just did the discus lariat this time.
And then Cody beating Sean Spears, sort of unsurprisingly when you think about it.
I kind of thought there was a possibility that Cody might go under, so they could have Darby get the match against Sean Spears in the second round, because they've set up a lot of storylines that you could possibly go, a lot of directions you can go with this TNT Championship tournament. And Cody losing in the first round would be something that I could see Cody booking, honestly. But the fact that it's probably going to come down to Cody beating Kip Sabian, Cody having a extremely close battle, but barely eking out a win over Darby Allin, and then Cody and Lance Archer having the finals, which I could see it could go either way, really. Because do you put the title on Cody, who is not allowed to wrestle for the world title anymore? Or do you put the title on Lance Archer? Because I can't see Lance Archer getting pinned. I can't see him submitting. He cannot lose right now unless it is, I can't say nefarious means, but he's got to get surprised.
Nefarious.
Unless you have Cabana pull a Toru Yano next week, but I don't think that's going to happen. Because I could see them going a route where Cabana gets a flash roll up and then just gets annihilated. Because Lance Archer does not have to be in the finals of this tournament like everybody thinks he's going to be to still prove a point. The story is about Cody, and after Lance Archer let's say Lance Archer gets eliminated by Cabana. Lance Archer could be the reason Cody gets eliminated, and nobody that we are thinking is going to be in the finals of the tournament is going to be there, and that's how Darby Allin gets the TNT Championship, and then he can feud with MJF. And I'm fine with that if they go that route, because clearly they want to push Darby Allin. I know he can't do anything right now, but the tournament's not going to be over until after Double or Nothing anyway, and that's next month, at least. So why not? Why not go with it? Don't be as surprising as you would think. Like, for example, let's say Lance Archer loses. Let's say Cabana gets a flash roll up, pulls a Toru Yano, and gets the win. What happens? Lance Archer just destroys him. Exactly. And then Cody now is about to win, and then he gets upset. And then after the match, Lance Archer can lay out both Cody and Darby Allin, proving a point that this belt means nothing. I just want to take you out. He helps Darby win inadvertently just so Cody could lose, but he takes both out to prove a point. It's a direction you can go. But we'll see.
And then, of course, we have ECW. Sorry, NXT. Although it did feel very ECW because it was Moro and Moro alone.
That's fair.
Also, props to him for yet more pop culture references by starting with "Hello, all you cool cats and kittens." Carol Baskin, what did you do? What did you do,
I,
Carol?
I won't lie. Commentary by yourself is fun. I've done it many times, but I can only imagine doing it with somebody in your head.
Moro's done it. Moro did quite a lot of commentary, sort of on his own back in the day, didn't he? Really?
Yeah.
So he's sort of used to it. So the most important thing, Io Shirai is #1 contender to Charlotte. Yes. Have the title
Which
change
is fair.
immediately. I don't care. Io needs to be on the main roster sooner rather than later, and on the brand that isn't the other two. Io Shirai on SmackDown. You'd be like, yes. Then we had they showed Balor versus Wolf from NXT UK from a few weeks back.
Mm-hmm.
Just to build up more stuff between Volta and Balor. Although, considering how it's like in Europe, I don't know when or where they're going to be able to do that before
That match is not happening for a long time.
August. I don't think it's going to be lifted for quite a while. And if we're building to take over Dublin for it now, if that's going to be the cover, that's still October. That's 6 months. More Killer Cross hype, and then I was like, I'm confused. The clock went to 12. Why hasn't he shown up? He should have already shown up. When it gets to 12, the thing goes bong, and then you go dong. Speaking of bong, Inda Share. They beat Eva Rise.
Who? Okay, so I'm glad 3.0 is getting on television. That's cool. But the thing about it is, what are these guys? Like, seriously, what's their gimmick? Are they the headhunters?
They are Indian.
So they're the headhunters then.
They're Indian. That's all you need to know. They are Indian.
So? Yeah, Rinka King doesn't exist anymore, so there.
One of them isn't Rinka King. Do I need to go through... I need to find him on the roster again.
I've seen $1 Million Arm, I know.
Shout outs to John Hamm for no reason.
There's a review, I think, on this channel. I don't know, maybe not. I don't remember. I know we've... There's a review.
One of the guys
probably.
is... One of the great thing is he's... $1 Million Arm guy is Rinku Singh. So he already sounds like Rinka King. Rinku Singh. The fact that he's been there for 2 years and it's just like, oof. And then the other guy was barely even used, and he's doing sort of Bollywood films anyway. So I don't know, like, if this is the push to try and get India interested in the network again. I think even the Indians are gonna... I don't even know whether $1 Million Arm or that became even a big thing in India.
I don't think it was.
What you want is like Sachin Tendulkar, like an actual like big name, who is the Indian equivalent of Tom Brady, to be there. Then they'll tune in on the masses.
Well, here's the thing, Ashley. If this is going to be what Malcolm Bivens does to get him. I'm good with him being on television, but I hated AOP as I hated them. I still don't like them. And that's basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to redo this team again. It might work, it might
Oh,
not
you
work.
mean like the Ascension?
Yeah. I like the Ascension though.
Yeah.
Can these guys can they work? I mean, I haven't seen them
Hang on.
at all yet.
Which Ascension?
Good lord.
Are we talking Ascension 1.0 or 2.0?
Oh god. I haven't seen Ascension 1.0. Or did I?
Yeah, because it was Victor and whoever the other guy was.
That's who I don't remember. No, I mean, I'm all for Malcolm Bivens getting on television, but I don't care about these random like thrown together tag teams that are just big monster guys. Monster as in size or monster as in like literal size. But I guess we'll see what happens.
And then in a PWG, in a PWG filmed. To me, it's PWG meets HBO. Because it's Gargano and Ciampa with Drake counting pinfalls or
Mm-hmm.
submissions.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Candice comes in, low blows Gargano, comes back, low blows Ciampa. Gargano was wearing a cup. And they walk out, get in the car, and the one line I like here from the write-up from Observer from Chris Aitken, modern day Bonnie and Clyde drive off into the night.
Yeah, don't forget Killer Cross and Scarlett Bordeaux in the background too.
So are they going to be faces then?
I don't know. NXT just is there an in between? There's a couple people that obviously yes, but I mean sometimes there's not.
Yeah, but if they're in the background and you're looking at sort of the couple, it'd have to be Cross and Bordeaux with because it's not like Ciampa's got a couple.
Well, the thing about Cross and Bordeaux being in the background is they have heels because they were basically like spying on them as the match was in.
Mm.
I don't see that as a babyface tactic. I don't know, maybe nowadays, possibly, but
So then we get to Down Smack, which, per Vince's belief, is now a practically live show every week and for all WWE shows going forward.
I really hope this bites him in the ass. I won't even lie about that.
We are not taping because otherwise there's the possibility that Fox and USA will go, you aren't putting out live content, we're going to sue you. Do you think they're going after Major League Baseball because they can't do baseball? Do you think
Maybe.
TBS is going after the NBA or the NCAA because they can't show March Madness? Or the NBA playoffs? Probably not. Hell, we saw ESPN this past week suddenly step in because I mainly think it's because on Pong questioning when Dana White was being asked where's the venue going to be for this show, and Dana kept saying ESPN, you can't come, you just watch it on ESPN, ESPN, ESPN. All of a sudden ESPN and Disney literally personally called Dana and said, you are not doing this show, cancel,
Right.
you stupid son of a bitch.
I'm very glad that happened.
My question is, when will Fox and USA get to this point?
Hopefully soon.
Because if we get to a point where this stuff's happening live, and another case of that thing that we can't mention because we'll probably get demonetized if we mention it.
I don't want to talk about a period.
No, but yeah. If we get more cases through the crew or whatever, then it's going to be more a case of you are actually putting people's health and well-being as a not a concern.
Oh, you mean what apparently, supposedly, had already happened?
There's got to be some reason why Roman's not showing up to work. I wonder if they're finding him. So then we get to Strowman. The great thing is, it came out basically that Goldberg wanted to go over on Bray because he thought that his superhero image was good for the kids. He's 50 fucking 3.
No.
Iron Man isn't 53. Captain America isn't 53. Not many of them are 53. Just saying.
They did a lot more harm than good when they did that.
Just having to clarify something because I just got a notification saying something to do with Ring of Honor and Final. And I hope it isn't Final Battle. I mean, it might be. I don't know.
What about Ring of Honor?
I just said live now. Now streaming. Oh, is it via Honor Club only, though? Yeah.
Oh.
They're showing Final Battle Baltimore. Which was what card? Oh, the card from December. Yeah, with PCO beating Roosh. It's been going for about 2 hours, but I only just noticed it now. LOL.
Yeah, it was 7 p.m. Eastern. It's $4.99 or Honor.
Oh, OWE are having a show in China, though. But only on Fight Plus. Oh, thanks. You can't just let us buy the show individually.
Oh, real quick, getting ahead of ourselves. On the 25th at 8 p.m., there's going to be a show that's going to be taking place in a small town called Ironton, Ohio. And one of my good friends, someone I've managed many times, someone that's a personal friend of mine, that's Jock Sampson. He is going to be facing his best friend, Casey King, for the FTC Championship in an empty arena match.
Uh-oh.
And it's going to be shown on the @FTC Wrestling Twitter feed.
Uh-oh.
So I wanted to throw a reference out to that.
Throw that out there. Feel free. So then...
I'll continue about your SmackDown stuff.
Well, the great thing is, Bliss and Cross versus Kabuki Warriors, because apparently Kabuki Warriors get a rematch, even though we've already established nobody gets rematches, except now all of a sudden there's rematches.
Because there's no tag teams. That's why. Can't they partner someone up with Santana Garrett and do like a competitive squash match or something?
Elias did a song and then said how he's going to be in Money in the Bank.
So
then the Triple H 25th anniversary special starts in 2 weeks on SmackDown.
let's cancel these shows before that happens.
What?
Please.
Well, no, obviously the 25th anniversary special is going to be old stuff.
That's true.
We're going to do old stuff on a live show. It makes sense when it's pre-recorded and you're trying to fill time.
Right.
But if you're going to go live and fill time, it's a bit more awkward. Ziggler beat Tucker.
George Carlin has a line about Tucker, and I'm not going to say it, but you're probably thinking it right now.
Because apparently Otis and Rose are just busy doing their own thing now. So Tucker's alone. But you gotta have friends.
What sucks about this is this would be a great time for Bobby Roode to come back. But
And
nope,
he's
sorry.
stuck in Canada.
He can't leave Canada.
Then the women dirt sheet. The dirt sheet stuff. It's just like
Freaking Miz and Morrison ripping off the Shook Crew. I like it, but it's still the Shook Crew.
We retain the tag titles in a ladder match. That's good news.
They're building on that John Krasinski
The first
thing.
person to retain the tag title. Morrison said he was the first person to retain the tag titles on his own.
No.
Pop quiz, Owen. At least off the top of my head, who's the first?
Oh God, I'm not thinking straight. Who retained the tag belts on their own? Time. TLC.
Kane.
Yeah, that makes sense.
TLC 4, was it? Because
You're the WWE historian.
Hurricane got laid out. So I think it was... Probably wouldn't have been Edge and Christian by 2002. But I remember Kane winning it on his own. TLC, I think it was TLC 4.
And apparently that's going to lead to another three-way with the tag belts on the line with the three guys that weren't in this coming week.
Thankfully, there's a Wikipedia that might just list all of them. Yeah, Kane beat Dudley Boys, Christian and Jericho, and Jeff Hardy and Rob Van Dam. On his own. So, you know, it's been done before. That's bad news. But then they ran down the WrestleMania card, you know, the Otis stuff and everything, you know, the Boneyard match, you know, which Morrison said the ending of the match is a nightmare that every time he competes, and it's just the bit where Styles is getting put in the choke, and it's like, don't bury me, don't bury me. It's just like, okay, I appreciate that. Then they do the rap song, and then the Usos show up and drop loads of Pee Wee Herman stuff because they mentioned it, you know, and whatever. And you know, Miz says the only reason, you know, he wasn't in the ladder matches that AA injured him, and I'm like, oh, just embrace what actually happened. You are the cause of why Roman Reigns is scared to work for this company now. And then New Day show up, so the big thing is it's going to be Miz, Big E, and Jey Uso in a triple threat match for the tag titles next week. And then here are the Lucha Dragons. Wait, they're on SmackDown? I lose track of what brand that they're on. I think they must be, because they were...
I'm honestly surprised they still have jobs at this point.
They were in the chamber. Yeah, but then... Here come the Forgotten Sons. My eyes!
I like Wesley Blake. I liked his team with Buddy Murphy. I really do. I think Blake is serviceable. Gunner is fine. I don't mind him. He's okay. I'm not a big fan of Cutler at all. I don't think this team's going to work out very well. I think they're going to get lost in the shuffle
They
quick.
didn't work in NXT. How the hell is it
Nope.
going to be any different on Downsmack? Then, blooming
Another terrible tag team I don't care about.
Bliss and Cross get challenged by Dana Brooke and Carmella.
Oh, dear God, why?
Get the names out the hat, brawl for all style. Yes, that's a segue for later on.
Yes, we will. 30 minutes, yes, we will.
Bailey and Sasha did a promo, which then led to the Tamina face thing, and that Tamina will get a title shot against Bailey if she beats Sasha. So I'm like,
Well, to be fair, Ashley, if they're going to do anything with might as well do it when there's not a protest to it.
Then Sheamus beat Cal Bloom in a squash. Then they hyped up Jeff Hardy again.
They got to build him up or he'll leave to go to AEW. Of course.
Then Strowman beat Nakamura.
Why?
And then Firefly Funhouse invaded.
I want this to lead to Bray getting his title back.
I mean, I
don't
so.
think it's going to.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
If it doesn't, it's like, you know.
I said this to Tim tonight as we were leaving the restaurant. When it comes down to it, there is a part of me that thinks Bray needs to win the title back, and then Roman needs to take it off Bray whenever Roman's able to come back. Or Beardo needs to keep the title as long as he can, and then he needs to drop it to Roman. But if you want Braun Strowman to be a strong world champion, which I don't, you have to turn him heel. You need to have him start like annihilating people. And say like Roman Reigns is afraid to face me. That's the reason why he's not here.
The weird bit though is when Bray's, like, I brought you into this world, Strowman. I have to take you
Exactly.
Bye bye. And then when it was clearly that was like supposed to be probably the end, Strowman goes,
I'm Meat Castle. Listen to my non-existent mic skills.
Whenever you want to meet, I'll let you in. Bye bye. And Strowman did it back to him, and it's just like, oh no.
This is crap.
Oh no.
At least get Eric Rowan involved in this match. You kind of have to now. I don't care. The person that we need to blame for Braun Strowman is Adam.
It's his fault.
Yeah, totally.
So next week, Naomi versus Dana Brooke in a aren't they getting tag title shot? What?
Oh, you know what that means? That means Naomi's gonna have to lose.
Oh no.
To Dana Brooke.
Well, it's a money in the bank.
Okay,
it's a money in the bank qualifier, so I don't think it is. Naomi has to win.
Let's hope so.
And then the thing that actually might get Owen to watch some sort of feed: Cesaro versus Daniel Bryan.
Ooh, I remember calling that. Remember I called that match on Raw when it was doing that?
No, but it's actually going to be a proper thing, though. It's canon. Quickly bring up the news that's broken in the past few hours.
Cruiserweight title.
Yeah, the Cruiserweight title. We're not borrowing Best of the Super Junior concepts. Honest.
Oh, dear God. Tell me it's the same. It's pretty much the same lineup. Sorry, Drake.
Well, Kushida makes sense. But Nice never did Japan.
No.
Atlas never had the chance to.
He would have.
But Atlas will be a good fit. And Drake, I think, is just losing every match. Drake is filler, which is a shame. But I hope he actually gets to be good. But then on the
So
other, to me, the other side is, when we talk about sports, we talk about the group of death.
yes,
Group B is the group of death. Because we have Gallagher, we have Tozawa, we have Swerve, and we have whatever he's going to be called that isn't El Hijo de Fantasma.
he's still listed as Phantasma on the website.
Well, we'll wait. I don't know whether
And
he
you
owns
do
the
know
rights.
he is the one behind the takings of Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza too.
Is that official?
No,
No, we just think it is. Because
there's no
why
thinking
else would
about it.
people
That's what
be
it
in
sounds
lucha
like.
masks?
That's what it's
Unless
supposed
this
to
is
be.
the cutscenes from TNA Impact with bloody suicide. The cutscenes from the video game.
In the NXT Best of the Super Juniors tournament, I'll
Mm.
tell you right now, this is a way to right a lot of wrong. This is the way to finally give Kushida something after being with the company for so long. That's the only thing I can think you can do. Kushida has to win this. Has to. There is nobody else that I could see getting this win.
Oh. Some interesting little stuff about that just came in the last few hours to kill the rumors about the identity of the person that became infected.
Yes.
It is not Corey Graves nor Carmella.
Okay.
It is not an active wrestler, but
Right.
is an on-air personality.
That has a roommate as well.
Apparently. Trying to see. Lance Archer, Dustin Rhodes is on AEW this week, as well as Kip Sabian, Chuck Taylor,
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun
and Britt
match.
Baker in action.
Probably facing off against the girl that was on the left side of the ring with the baby faces.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Um,
And then Moxley and Hager, no holds barred for the AEW World Championship.
and Pineapple Pete.
Pineapple Pete, Sugar Dunkerton against Sammy Guevara.
It should be good.
Oh yeah, totally. I cannot wait for that match.
I'm trying to see. I guess the big thing that we should mention. Um, this was clearly done to bury the other news, but the XFL is suspended.
Sivaco, XFL is dead.
No longer can happen due to financial uncertainties. And the belief
And
is
because
it's not even maybe even happening next year.
this stupid football league is dead is the reason why WWE is going to be screwed, because Vince is going to be a lot more hands-on, and that's going to make things bad for.
And he's lost a lot more money for like 2 or 3 weeks. There was certainly interesting, because ESPN's basically saying the league has no plans to return next season. So, at least
That's a
with
thing.
XFL version 1, we had a full season. XFL season 2, we had, I think, 2.5 or 3.5 weeks. And that was it. Like, wow. That news obviously came out because they wanted to bury the fact that the revival got released.
And they don't have a 90-day no compete clause in their contract
So
either.
they could show up whenever they feel like.
I have a very good feeling they're going to be a part of 190 200 in one way or another. They don't have to be there physically to be a part of it.
Oh, one of the big reasons I think why Disney also acted was Thug Rose Namajunas, basically pulled out of UFC 249, which he was supposed to be a part of, because I think a couple of her family members died from the virus. Dana was still under the impression, though, that, okay, we'll just find somebody else to replace you. Sorry for your thing. We're still doing it.
So, but Dana is also turning an island into battle royale.
That was the original plan. He isn't now.
We'll see.
Because nowhere showing it.
He's got to build his own private. He's got to call up Tyler Perry.
No,
and he's got to run on
doing
Tyler Perry's private island.
He's doing it on the Native American land. At this rate, the private island's going to become Fantasy Island. And I don't mean Ricardo Montalban. I'm talking the stupid Blumhouse one.
Yep.
Like, terrible Fantasy Island. Not the good shit from the 80s.
Accurate.
New Japan's cancelled all shows through to May 4th.
Yep.
I don't know what the deal is with Noah and Stardom and all that.
We're talking about doing All Japan empty arena shows as well.
Stands.
Before we go any further on that, I want to bring up a couple things about as well.
Mm-hmm.
I've had this notepad forever. I want to go through it. So Black Label Pro had their Threat Level Midnight show, and they basically did an entire show on Fire Pro.
Hell yeah.
Did you see this?
I saw glimpses of it.
So let me go over the finishes. So the Dirty Daddy, Chris Dickinson, lost to Black Taurus with the discus.
That's fair.
All Ego Ethan Page defeated Kylie Ray with a flying clothesline. We had Violence is Forever over Jordan Grace and Layla Hirsch with a leg bar by Dominic Guarini on Layla. A one-sided squash where Stephan Bonner just punched the daylights out of Nick Gage. Shaz and McKenzie choked out Warhorse. Filthy Tom Lawler choked out Haku. Effie won the Danhausen Invitational Battle Royalhausen. Order of elimination was Alex Shelley, Alley Cat, Kobe Durst, where's the four? Danhausen, and Gary J, and then AJ Gray. Jody Fleisch defeated Alex Zane with a Tornado DDT. Jeff Cobb defeated Jake Something with a military press and a tour of the islands. And Eric Stevens successfully defended the Black Label Pro Championship over Anthony Henry with a top rope clothesline to the back of the head. Yay, Fire Pro and its weird finishes.
Oh, that's good news. The next Martin Scorsese film might only be on Apple TV.
I'm never going to get to watch a Scorsese film in theaters again, am I?
That's
Ashley, have you heard about Body Guy Extravaganza?
I've seen a lot of wrestlers get involved in the Don't Rush challenge or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, I have a couple of friends actually got involved in it too. Here's the thing: the Body Guy Extravaganza, the Ethan Page show from WrestleMania weekend.
Oh.
He went on record saying the show was going to happen, and it ended up being a cartoon that was done on his YouTube channel.
Oh no, I remember seeing that in a little bit of that on my feed. Yeah.
So yeah, we had Jody Fleisch splash, and Jordan Grace defeated John Silver with a German suplex. Chris Masters came out for the Master Lock Challenge, and it was accepted by Orange Cassidy. And Cassidy just put his hands in his pockets and broke the Master Lock.
From out of nowhere.
Jake Something defeated Chris Dickinson, Josh Alexander, and Eric Stevens with a tombstone. And then we had Brett Michael David over Kobe Durst, Luke Hawx, Jody Threat, Clayton Gaines, Thomas Sharp, Shane Mercer, Dan the Dad, and Joey Ryan with a 450 splash. And then we had the Boddities, which were Danhausen, Warhorse, and Space Monkey. They defeated the Rascals, Wentz, Xavier, and Miguel with a teeth-assisted tail whip. So it was a very interesting match. Colt Cabana was starting to sell his merch, and he was told he had to do a podcast, so he bombed out. And then we had 3 Stages of Hell with Brian Cage and Scott Steiner, which ended up being a 6-man tag. Brian Cage, Scott Steiner teaming up with Ethan Page against the Nation of Carbohydration, GCW World Champion Ricky Shane Page, D'Lo Brown, and Swoggle. And it was a triple Steiner recliner in the finish. If you have not seen this, seriously, I know I'm just going over it quickly because we're on the time crunch, but check out Ethan Page's YouTube channel. Seriously, it's really entertaining. And everybody except for Scott Steiner provided their own voices for this project.
I'm trying to work
And
out
he
who
did
did Steiner.
mention Ethan did, yeah, it was old Steiner promos that he cut up to be able to manipulate exactly what Steiner would say. But everybody that was involved put their own voices on it. And the great thing about it is that was exactly what was going to happen at Body Guy Extravaganza if it actually happened as a show. So big props to Ethan Page too for doing something that awesome.
Oh my word. DDT. I don't know when exactly. It says it happened today.
Oh no.
Put up a 3.5 minute video of Dan Shuko Dino becoming the 1479th Iron Man heavy metal weight champion. Except it was in the style of, like, I don't know, Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. You know, as if it was actually, you know, an actual, like what the, what, what the, sorry.
I don't have words right now.
So there's a new weekly series on DDT Universe called DDT TV Show. Filling up the gap. Tomorrow's show was supposed to be filmed across several private locations, but Tokyo is supposed to be in lockdown and makes it difficult for the venues that were going to be used. So the weekly tapings have been postponed until a new schedule's figured out, one where the venues are available and also safe for everyone involved. So I guess that's airing later on maybe or something. I don't know. But yeah, DDT stuff is all seemingly off for the next couple of weeks. Maybe. Yeah, DDT has cancelled the shows over the next 3 months because it's impossible to run them. So there's no shows until at least July for them. Wow. They're taking it seriously. Not that you shouldn't, but you know, it's hold it off that far. It's like, oof. So now, for the last 15 minutes or so, Owen gets to gush about Brawl for All and New Jack. Dark Side of the Ring time.
They glorified New Jack so much in the
The way it ends, where it's just like he just seems like crazy, and it's like, is that the way you wanted to end it?
He said he wanted to be sitting in a chair snorting coke, having the last laugh on everyone as the last scene in the New Jack movie. I can see him as Denzel's friend. I can't see him as Denzel. And New Jack has gotten a lot more active on Twitter after this came out too. That's for sure.
Sort of not surprised.
Brawl for all. I mean, nothing I really haven't heard before. Nothing we all have, but I'm telling you, Russo and Cornette just need to just no more.
What was up with Russo's like beard and mustache, and then the other side it was just nothing. It was just it was like a handlebar mustache one side, and the other bit was just clean shaven. So it was just like that doesn't work, Russo.
It's all the pot, I think. If I had to guess.
The worst bit with Russo was he was just like, "This was a great idea. This was a great idea. This was a great idea." Seemingly sort of in Stockholm syndrome of like, I wrote it. It's got to be good.
No one thought the Brawl for All was going to work. And I'm glad they talked Vince out of doing the Brawl for All again with the NXT guys.
Yeah. It was interesting. The sad thing that I didn't, it wasn't, the thing I was sad about that didn't get mentioned was the bit regarding how after winning Brawl for All, Bart Gunn went to Japan
Right.
and had to be coaxed back for a lot of money just to get squashed by Butterbean.
Yeah, that tag team with Johnny Ace, and when they competed in Real World Tag League.
I think so. Yeah, I think it was it was either Noah or All Japan. I can't remember.
I know he did Tag League at one point, and I've been watching a lot of Brian Zane lately, and one of the things they did was on WXO, and I definitely remember WXO greatly. But the thing is, one of the things was they showed a video footage, like grainy footage from the Tokyo Dome, with the match between them and Kabashi and Masawa
Mm-hmm.
to try to build them up to bring them into the company before the company folded. And yeah, Mike Barton was really good in Japan, and when it comes down to it, money talks, and he had to come back to the US, and get his clock cleaned by Butterbean. That fight never should have happened, honestly. The Brawl for All was a mistake.
I appreciate the concept, but executing it with wrestlers really didn't work.
Like, look at Severn. Severn, all he has to do is take people down and get points. He doesn't have to fight anybody. Severn just keeps taking you down. That's the reason
Then
Shamrock was fighting.
again, I agree with draws in which some of that, you know, some of the calls with Bradshaw were clearly, you know, a couple of them were takedowns and were never recorded as takedowns.
I agree. I remember watching the Brawl for All and definitely agreeing with that.
And it was nice to see, although it was a passing glimpse, they did reference Droz's accident.
All the Thunderfire Powerbomb.
Yeah.
Good lord.
I don't think that's strong enough to make into its own episode.
No, but it's definitely something that needed to be mentioned.
Yeah. It was good to see that it did get referenced. Next week, of course, gets interesting.
Yeah, with Tamina getting pushed on television right now, it's great, interesting timing, to say the least.
Oh,
I don't think anyone's thinking about that one right now, but they
you
will be
just
on Wednesday,
the great thing
Tuesday.
is because of the schedule, you can watch Dark Side the Ring and then backstage and ignore the stupid stuff with the comedian.
Yeah, the bad thing about it was because of some stupid news thing they had to do. They didn't have after Dark Side of the Ring this time. They had to wait 30 minutes. But luckily, that 30 minutes was enough for me to exercise. So then I was able to watch the end of Dark Side of the Ring. But yeah, that stuff is not
The
good.
comedy stuff does, and the after chat, just because it worked with Talking Dead.
They're trying to do Talking Dead. Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Hell, they're doing it with Tiger Man on Netflix, aren't they? Joel McHale's got like a one-off sort of.
I haven't watched Tiger King, and I don't know if I'm going
No, but they announced
it
that there's
enough.
going to be like a bonus episode, but it's not going to be like a proper follow-up. It's just going to be.
It came out today, actually,
Yeah,
because the
it's a
people were talking about it on my Twitter feed.
it's an Easter miracle or something.
I love Dark Side of the Ring. I just don't. I think they go into a lot, but they don't go into enough. Like I think these shows need to be. Some of these shows can be 2 hours long.
Broken Skull Sessions with Flair is up. It's about an hour and 40, so
Not bad.
getting your
Have to find a
money's
way to see
worth
that.
there.
Of course.
I need to quickly look at
And
this
of course,
though, if I can pause it in time. WWE
Dark
put up
Side,
their. I'll go ahead.
Dark Side's got a lot of interesting ones still to come this season. Doctor D is still coming this season, and obviously the big one is the one that's coming at the end of the season, which is Owen. Which of course that's gonna be a rough one to watch for me.
I'm trying to look at this 10 greatest matches from the 2010s.
What is good?
Heck, Jake Roberts himself would be a good Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah. Bryan versus Kingston from Mania 35. Okay. Shield versus the Wyatt family. How did that make it in the top 10?
I don't like these top tens they come up with.
Number
They're very
8.
skewed the
Number
wrong way.
8 was Cena, Punk, Money in the Bank. That deserves to be in the top 10.
I agree.
Undertaker versus Triple H, the Hell in a Cell match. To be honest, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Zayn and Owens from Battleground. You go with that and not Owens versus Cena.
Yeah, that's a weird
I
one.
feel any one of those 3 matches was stronger, even if it is Cena winning. Ronda versus Sasha from Royal Rumble.
Nope.
Bryan versus Triple H. I love the fact that that made it in, but the one where he actually won the title isn't there. Charlotte versus Becky from Evolution. If you're going to have one woman's match in there, that deserves to be in there, and Ronda Sasha doesn't. Styles versus Rollins from just a random Raw. That's the only one that I don't think was from a pay-per-view. Oh no, Shield versus Wyatt family also wasn't a pay-per-view. And understandably, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels from 26. For once, I approve of the number 1. Actually makes sense. In terms of what's getting added to the network, let me see. There is another WWE Break It Down coming with Richard O'Shea being the focus.
Mm.
I believe. I think it's next Sunday though, so you're gonna have to wait a while. I don't think there's anything else though officially confirmed, and I can't look. I don't think I can look ahead far enough yet to see what's on tomorrow after Raw. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if it was the Broken Skull sessions with Flair, because they do like to have them sort of on delay.
Mm.
Oh, then again, they've been showing Broken Skull sessions with Flair actually tonight as well, so maybe not. The great thing is, over here, they literally put Mania 36 on BT Sport for free on Saturday and Sunday.
That's fair.
So anybody that did pay 15 or 20 quid each last week must feel really bad about themselves with the fact that they could have waited a week and seen it for nothing as part of their subscription anyway that they hopefully already have. Oh dear. In some other little bits, there seems to be a lot of mixed thoughts about the price charging for, certainly for Trolls, because apparently the reviews, at least on Apple, are like 3 stars. on average after about like 800 reviews, so it's not like it's
I,
too dramatically skewed.
I got a good feeling once this week comes, we're gonna have another. Not going to be that complimentary of it. Just a guess.
$20 for a 48 hours rental. In the same time, finally it went live over here. They actually pushed Sonic out. And given that
Oh,
it
that movie was bad. That movie made my.
the key thing for me though is that is a Paramount film. Because Paramount would normally try and milk the shit out of it. Or shove it on Netflix. But instead, rather than put it out as a rental that they easily could have done, they put it out as a purchase over here. So you literally can just buy it. It's not a rental for 48 hours. It's just purchase and own the thing. I'm just trying to look at what's out here now. Oh, of course. It's the big push. Star Wars. Like a Boss. So that's getting an early release then. Great. And Rhythm Section. Which was okay. I'm trying to see if Like a Boss... Yeah, Like a Boss is a purchase. Which is good. And Rhythm Section should... trying to remember when Rhythm Section came out.
Pretty sure there's a review on this channel somewhere from it.
I'm trying to remember whether it was this year or whether it was... I don't think it was late last year. It must be this year. Yeah, January in France. So again, that's Paramount probably just putting it out there and having it out there. Then again, they sort of screwed themselves over with that release. What, didn't it get released at the same time as... Ooh, I'm trying to remember. What else came out that week? There was something. Wikipedia saved me. List of American films of 2020. Even though it's technically not American. Oh no, wait, it was actually up against nothing. Or at least it doesn't seem to be against nothing. I'm going to have to go back in the US box office and see, because I know it got buried by something. I can't remember what. I doubt it was Bad Boys for Life. I thought there was something else out, and it doesn't seem to be listed there. That's confusing the hell out of me. Anyway, I think, or at least I can think of the top of my head, that's all there is to talk about. In terms of stuff you can catch, Ring of Honor have put up the entire Supercard of Honor show from MSG last year, up for free. I know it's still there. Don't want to confirm that it is, because it may not be. Trying to think. I don't think of more little bits of footage of the Wrestling Retribution project are showing up.
I'll look into that.
Little bits here. They're only sort of like short 7 or 15-second bits. They're nothing substantial. The only substantial bit that I did see was they put up the full Chase Walker promo.
Oh, okay. I wanted to see that actually.
From multiple camera angles where the sound doesn't work.
Of course.
There's the bit where you can hear the digital camera. There's a flash. It's like, oh, you're trying to get stills there, son, are you? Right, Jeff? I see what you're doing, Jeff. Why did it take 8 years, Jeff? Did you honestly think you were gonna Did Jeff honestly think that some of these wrestlers 8 years later were going to do pickup shots?
Probably not.
Thank God it's nearly all out there now. Maybe. I don't
All right.
know.
Real quick before we end, Brian showed up in chat. Happy Easter, Brian. So I'm doing my Oscar movie marathon near 9 Best Picture nominees. 3 so far. I've only got 6 left, which includes Paris. The latter one is my only film of 14 I need to do for my Oscar animated documentary and reviews. Nice. We'll be jumping back into that world in a couple of months.
I'm really intrigued to see what's going to happen, though, with Promising Young Woman.
I can't wait.
It's supposed to be out this week.
I want to see it. I don't care what I have to do to see it.
I don't. If it's coming out digitally, it's like well, it won't come out here digitally, even though I think it was supposed to open around the same time. So
Should have got that poster, but we never got it.
the big thing that I really hope that I don't have to review for me and you and AJ to do a triple threat on, and that's the main event.
Oh God, no. I think that's the end of the show now.
Yeah.
We're not talking about that. Go watch the Big Show show. It's funny. I enjoy it. It's a very easy binge. It's only 8 episodes.
I didn't. I'd have preferred to watch Quantum of Solace on loop. Oh.
I'll never watch something that garbage again.
It's
so
good,
yeah, that's our show.
It's good to know that despite all the situations that's happening, Netflix is still putting crap on its service.
That's our show.
Yeah. We will be back next week.
Yep.
Covering all the live shenanigans from Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, the not live stuff from AEW, be it Dark, Elite, or Dynamite.
Yep.
Probably also a side mention to Impact Wrestling and knowledge in their stuff, plus anything else that shows up and whatever.
Dark Side with Superfly Jimmy Snuka.
Mm-hmm. It's more because of the awkwardness of that. It's like more a case of what's going to happen with that, or it's more a case of what's going to be on next week. Because we know that the finish is Owen.
Yeah.
So it's just the case of when are we getting to Bravo? When are we getting to Dr. Dave Schultz?
Mm-hmm.
When are we getting to Road Warriors? And what's the well, no. No, that'd be it, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Snooker's the 5th. So there we go. That is us for this week. We'll be back next week for shenanigans.
Yep. Ashley's got more gaming content, more Snack Stash content coming in the near future.
I still need to do
AJ's
my Untitled Goose Game stuff.
Interesting. So yeah, Dino Bravo is going 21st. So that's going to be the one after Snuka.
Oh, Dino Bravo's next.
Yep.
Good. Don't know why I said it like that. Makes you sound like an idiot. Oh wait, I already am.
And then it should be Dr. David Schultz, then Herb Abrams, and then the Road Warriors, and then Owen. That's the order. So Dr. D on the 28th, Herb Abrams and the UWF on May 5th, the Road Warriors on May 12th, and Owen Hart on May 19th. have that to look forward to as well. AJ content is not on sabbatical. Chris was visiting AJ this weekend, so AJ's been busy. So he's going to be bringing back content this coming week. Plenty of movie reviews and verses, and our new Stephen King short stories on screen segment. That's a lot of S's in that statement. It really is. And I'll be back with more sipping snacks. I've got 8 more left to go. God, I hope I find more because we got a lot of content. I've got concert videos. They're going to get us through May.
Oh, wow.
And Voices of Liberty are back here as soon as I find out Disney's reopening.
We've got a GIF here of what's happening with the GCW Lost in New York feed.
I really wish I was watching that right now.
It's got like the what they have, the info stuff, like that show
pop-up video.
Yeah, that sort of thing. It was.
I know. I really wanted to watch it tonight.
It was Joey's idea to have Marco answer the open challenge, and he armed Marco with the "fuck your mother" line that opened the match. All this insight is coming. Also, I love the fact that because of everybody being stuck in, everybody's now excited because they pushed up Killing Eve forward a week, so it's airing, I think, now in America, and it goes live on a week-by-week basis over here, rather than all in one dollop from 6 in the morning, so in about 3-ish hours from now. Which says a lot because it's not actually airing properly on TV until like 7 days. Not from now, but like 7 days our prime time. So. Oh god, MJF. Oh, I forgot MJF was part of the Lost in New York stuff. Of course it was.
So that's your show, everyone. Thank you for tuning in or tomorrow or this morning or afternoon or whenever you're watching on archive. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you, everyone that joined us live. And as always, live or in archive, in a world where there are a billion wrestling podcasts, we're pleased tonight that you've chosen a Popcast. Thank everyone for watching. Thanks, everyone, for listening. And until next week, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.
You don't get Donkey anymore. You just get me hitting end stream and then pressing end, and then it randomly cuts off.